All right. Okay, so in bottom of page Yud Aleph, bottom of page Yud Aleph, he explained how the Chochma, the very barichas, what's the meaning of Chochma? Chochma means that he sees the thing clearly. He sees it, he sees something not in a way clearly, but also it's a l'mala mitzechel v'asoga. You see the essence. So the last two lines. Gam bittul dechom k'nes bittul matzias mamash. So that brings that the bittul is also the bittul that's a result of the chachma. The bittul that results from that, from seeing what he said, seeing the Sabbath, Baravaya, everything's be Sabbath. That itself, because it sees the essence, so the bittul that results from it is matzias mamash. Because he sees the essence of the thing. So that causes him, they should see the thing itself. They should be, the beetle should be the deepest level of beetle, essential beetle, not just beetle. So that also is expressed, is merumas, is alluded to in the fact that we say like I explained the first time, that that the parts of the actual physical brain, there's the part of the brain is karvelach, part is cham v'yovesh. Says the Kabbalah explains that chokhmah is karvelach. It's cold and it's moist. What means this? The lachluch is shebemoyach, or klilat, this idea in the chokhmah. The fact that it's lach, I mean, it has moisture, which is going to go into this moisture. What it means that is a kli to the idea, which is the atzmis, which is a atzmis, the type of connection.
Is it really like the physical moisture? Is it what's
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it's possible. It's like it's anatomy. Maybe in the brain, there's parts that are more. Well, I don't know.
But you see like the brain of the animals, when they take it out, you see they're moist. They are
Yeah.
dry.
But I don't know. The moist part, yeah, there is some moisture in the brain, but I'm not sure this entire. I'm not sure how it works like I said, we don't study anatomy here. We're trying to. There's a concept. There's a concept that he's trying to teach us. So the what is moisture? So I already explained that. Like I said, Maim and Offer, in the four Yisaitis, in the four elements, Maim and Offer, Maim is considered more spiritual than Offer. Why? Because it's not stuck in one place. It's more fluid. So fluidity is a muscle, is an expression of something which is less megushim. So I think in this case also the lachluch is the moisture, the fact that it's fluid means that it's a little more refined. Shleima dakli, and she explained that kli l'chesriya the chachma dafa kli ruch nish ene preslimam. The reason why the lachluch is, but the keli to that level of chachma, which we explained earlier, chachma is the atzmis. The keli to that is something which is more spiritual, like I said, less magush. Ayafshu, Iveshus, dryness, it's like Shomasakli. Something gets dry, that signifies the concept of Akshama. It's more Megusha. And it was Bakli Mamish. That means that the oil is captured in the Keli. There's the Megushim, the part of the keli, that's not a keli for chochma. ההגשמת הכלי אין זה כלי לחוכמה, והחוכמה אינה מבחינת תפיסה בכלי. That aspect of the keli, that it's megusham, it's more crude, the more materialistic, that's not a keli. Again, there's such a concept here which is expressed in the meaning of lach luchis, the moisture. That's one. But we said kava lach, not necessarily. Well, negay in our hamshach inyanim. Remember, it started the whole discussion. We spoke about chachma is kar. There's no spilus, it's beetle. But in bina is spilus. The krius means lepnas is spilus. There's no excitement, which means it's passive. Chol atzmei lepnas tu is spilus. The essence of everything, the being is not in the state of tnu. It's not. There's no movement. There's no excitement. It's just being who you are, staying in your own state, which is passivity. When something's expanding and is pashtus expression, that's not something that there's movement there. There's spilus, there's excitement. The chol atzmi, okay, the komoy. There's an expression in early Shkira books. What differentiates a living thing from a non-living thing? Movement. Like we say, what's the difference between Tzameach and Chai? What makes the Chai different than Tzameach and Medayim? It's Naneya. He moves. So he says that when he says it's movement, what moves is the sparshtus of chayes. Chayes lachis. It's the external part of the chayes. So chay be'etzem, somebody who's the essence of life is above movement. V'alkein oira chochma. Shu p'nes etzem was dovo. Again, the way described before, means the way, the perception, when you perceive something to your, to the midas chochma, to the mayach chochma. It's a direct connection with the essence. As a result of that, the action is not, the perception is not in a state of movement and excitement, but it's p'nes. It's like cold, which means it's passive. וגם זה שמתבטא בעצם העושה, so then the result, the effect, the two parts, like you said, there's the perception, how it affects. Effect is also מתבטא בעצם העושה, it overwhelms you. So even there, the leftness is spineless. It's not these overwhelms, you get so excited. Krios v'nachas. It's in a way, it's a cold and passive way. Kanal bin in Shema, like we described earlier in Shema. Ma is Chochma unachnu ma bit. Okay, so we established one point here that Chochma means the passive, direct connection with the etzem adover. And now he says the next step. Agam shezel amalim sechel v'tam. Again, it's etzem adover. It's above description. You can't explain it. You can't describe it. It's a direct connection. It's above like description, like I said, above analysis. Above is there, the fact that you have that level of understanding, that triggers this next step, actual understanding. Because the person achieved that state of connection with his mind, that he captures the thing itself, that makes him understand it better. In other words, it's the state of Chachma, it's above Seichel, but the later state, when you start developing it, the development will be stronger because you'll when he's going to actually develop it in the level of comprehension, analysis, and understanding, that will be more as a result of the fact that he saw it directly. וגם בריבוי השכל בייסר. So he breaks it into two parts. בעמק וריבוי. He's going to understand it deeper and understand it more, and he's going to have more details. כמוי בהאריזל, it brings the famous expression, the Arizal, שלא בשירת הצהריים, the Shabbos in Bolok Bilam, that Arizal saw when he had a vision, in a dream, when he fell asleep, Shabbos afternoons, he had a vision and the concept of the inner Bolok Bilam, ומדבר בזה פי שונים, כשקוץ פריץ חיים, וכמה פריץ חיים בשער השבס. Now, it says, well, מדבר בזה פי שונים, it's a little modern expression. It's usually, like I said, the Chassidus brings that the Arizal said what he saw there is saw enough that he can to describe it will take 80 years to explain it. And now, the Lashon of מדבר בזה פי שונים.
He did not leave pei shonim.
What?
He
Exactly.
lived only 38.
Exactly. So the medaba baza, I guess it's like I don't know, I have to look it up. Maybe it's a mistake. Let's say that there was enough there to talk for 80 years. Vainu. So that shows us that the Re'iyah, when he saw something, the Re'iyah of the Arizal compared to the Re'iyah of Chachma, so this Re'iyah contains so much that, when it's expanded, when it's explained, it can be spoken about for 80 years. Going back, okay, so now he adds another kvetch in the Lachluchis. Till now, Lachluchis meant, like it said, it's Makruchni Yesa. But this is another aspect in Lachluchis. והיינו בנפרס הלכלוכי שאומר חוכמה המים עצמיך מנסח אותה. The mind, the moisture has another quality, like it says in Tanya Perek Aleph. וצד המים, כי המים עצמיך עם כל מיני טעמים. Water has the quality of making things grow. In our case, המים עצמיך מנסח אותה, because the Me'er HaChochma. As Mayim, so Mayim has the ability to grow. Because this is why the innovation, the ability of innovation and creativity is in Chachma. That's also connected to the Lach, the Lachluchis. Because Lachluchis, which is moisture, which is water, and water has the power. We see in the world of Tzemeach, you put water in the ground and it makes things grow. והשכל דחוכמה יקרה גם כמובן הנוח השיחליס, כמו שלא עשו גם אחר. מקום מבחינת שכלי, הוא בעסוק, מבחינת שכלי. That's again, he adds more words here. I'm not sure what he's adding in these few words. Ika b'chinas hanachas sichlis, which hanachas sichlis is like, actually, I don't know, he says, I don't know why he says that it's a new, it's the same concept he said till now. Maybe he adds something here. That hanachas sichlis, again, it means it's a level of intellectual grasp which is above safe. We come with sich. We come with sich above asaga the bit. Maybe what he's but basically maybe he's just repeating the same idea. Okay, the last statement he made here was that the seichel is above stam vadas, but it affects the tam vadas. Because you have this high level of perception, eventually it makes the understanding much better. So mainly, so it says here, so there's a few aspects in Chachma. There's the Iya, there's the Atzmicha, and then he says another point, the Ikar is Hanocha Sichlis. Like I said, Hanocha Sichlis means, like in Yiddish, we say the upleg means that's how you perceive it. It's not, again, it's not logical, but at the same time, that level of perception could be expressed through in a sagad it can be understood. Like Matzmich. Now he goes. The Koyach Habino, April bin Mat the Ein der Rede Fach. The Koyach Habino is a state of. It's the opposite. The opposite of the Ma, the Ein. Who I think should say Koyach. Kola, something. I think Koyach. The hook Koyach HaSoga La'asid Hoyin Aleki B'Seich V'Tamda. The Koyach Bina is La'asigin B'Seich V'Tam. Not like I said, not the way it is in Chachma, which is Iya L'Mala V'Tam. In Bina, it's La'asig B'Seich V'Tam. Kamay Shema Yisrael Sha'avana. That's what you say, Shema Yisrael, Shema Milosh Na'avana, Kamay Davak Shemei Avdecha. Like the pasuk says, "Dabek Shemei Avtecha." The Rashi says, "Shemei" means he understands. The Yina Bina Eina Rak means Eina Ella. Eina Rak, Eina Ella Ba'asaga B'Moyach Bina B'Tuf Tam. The concept of Bina is Asaga B'Tuf Tam, which means to develop, like we said, develop and capture in a way that it's with reason and analysis. שזה כמו המתאים איזה דבר מה באיזה סברות time sichling. So that somebody takes an idea and explains it very well with the explanations and reasons. שאין זה עדיין מושג בעצם הדבר כמו בריד, זה מאוד לחוכמה. It's stuck in not capturing the essence, just like in כמו בריד, זה מאוד לחוכמה, רק מספר שזה מציע זה דבר לבד. Bina doesn't capture the essence, it only captures the spashtus of the Kumai Shmiya Merachak, let's compare to Riyah and Shmiya. Shmiya is Merachak. Shmiya, like you always talk, Riyah is Mikarav and Shmiya is Merachak. Shedeo Meri, like Mitzis, so Rachak and Karav in this context means Mehus versus Mitzis. In simple English means you see the thing, you hear about the thing. You don't capture the thing itself. You hear about it. Think about something. That's the mitzvah, not the mahut. What does it mean in avodas Hashem in the bina shabenefesh alikis? Shebizbana bayach v'nosai v'asaga alikis. Ech shidvach ma'al me'elam esmayin leyesh. Earlier we said, he has this very direct perception of godliness. Allah creates everything, what he creates, how he creates, and all the details. Here it's Mashing Bina means also the same concept, but that's already that he captures it through allusions and explanations. Okay, it was in a dogma. Oh, the first is the Indian of Ma'arakal. Then the same thing, Ma'arakal Sekam. In a Likus Gufa, Madregas and Likus Ma'arakal also the Mishani with the He captures it to parables and to comparison. The Dimiyanis here is not Miloshan fantasy. The Dimiyanis is Miloshan Medam and Mills and Mills. Comparison. The Alpha Pishamati Madawa Maskin and 8 of Nikla Manachat Teva. It's true that when he understands it, he captures it well in his mind, and he has a good grasp of it. But it's still merachik. It's not understanding, but it's still something distant. Not like Chochmah. Chochmah, you have a direct connection. Over here, it's merachik. It's understanding. You understand the formula. Like it'll teach you, like you learn something. It's not the formula, that the formula makes sense, but you don't really get the thing itself. Said earlier that it's okay. Spoke about Karvalach. Karvalach, that's something we can relate to more because when, like you said, physically, of the brain. What's the brain? The brain has some moisture in it, but then there's a part of the brain, according to this understanding, is Ham v'Yovish. I don't know what it means physically, but the idea is the Yiveshus. So that's the opposite of what I said earlier. Earlier, I said Yiveshus means akshomasakli. Yiveshus means akshomasakli. Shetefes mamish as oyeches erbekli. So the oyer is akshomas means it's more crude, it's more materialistic. We may capture the oyeches erbekli. Shigama oyer b'akshomas mitzias. So that represents that's what the dryness, as opposed to the moisture. The moisture represents the afshata, the more abstract, spiritual. Mashenken, dry means it's bakshama mitzius. V'chamimus. What is the Indian that ham? Ham means satnuva is piles. This type of perception in your mind is in a state of movement and excitement. It's a type of intellectual perception which is not not in a passive state of rest. It's the opposite. It's a movement. It's movement and excitement. One of the ways we see it is in the joy that you experience, we understand. Which cost we say the pasuk in Halal. Aim habanim smecha, which means aim is bina kanoida. Aim is bina, and we say about aim habanim, that's smecha, that is joy. Why? Because Nuova is pilot. Simcha, joy, as opposed to delight, okay. In the world, in a way, the person is joyful and he has delight, pleasure. So both of them are similar, but there's a major difference between them. Joy means excitement. Simcha means aspiles. V'ibchin is gvura. So bina ani bina ligvura. Bina is comes together with gvura, because that aspect of gvura, which means like ash, fire. There's something burning and excited movement. In that way, bina is different than chachma. Bina is simcha. Chachma is connected to tainuk. Tainuk, like I said, is delight. Shehu is chesed v'nocha v'nachas daf. Okay, just he put in another line here, which he doesn't talk about it more, but it's another way, the different expression of bina and chachma. Chachma is tainuk. That connection, that connection that we have to chachma, that expresses itself in tainuk, which tainuk versus simcha is also like passive versus active. It's a way of deriving pleasure in a way that it's passive. That it's tainuk, just being the state of being that you're in a state of delight. So that's chesed. Just like chesed means just everything flows. Gvur is the opposite of chesed. Gvur means resistance, strength. So that requires more effort and excitement and movement. Okay. So we explained quite about the different Chachma and Bina. There's a few aspects of it, right? In the Chachma, we spoke much more about Arichas than in Bina. So we see that Bina is movement and excitement and heat, and the Bina and Chachma is more like passive and rest and time.
I was Karve Yovish. I mean, no, I'm the Bina is Yovish Vecham. How does it? Cham is in Yanav, it's Padus, correct?
Cham means it's bad. They just said Chaim.
Yeah, you know, but I'm saying, so what's the Yovish? That's what I'm saying.
He said Yovish means Akshama. Yovish because it's more
Tangible.
Yeah, it's more tangible, more makrud. So that's the fact that creates more movement. Okay, it's one of these things that you just we have to pay attention to a certain aspect of it. Yovish versus Lach. Lach is more spiritual. Yovish means more materialistic. But Mele, it's a keli. The akshama is a keli. It's a low state of perception. So that creates movement. Chochma is a higher level. Achluchis means more mufshat, more abstract. Mele, the connection is much smoother. It's like there's no resistance. Mele, it's always passive. Okay. Just like we described now by Arichas, the difference of Chochma in the state of Meichin, not in the feelings that they create, in the actual perception. Similarly, that is also expressed in the way they affect the midas. The midas shebelev, that level of emotion that results of these two states of being of Chachma and Bina. The base Meich and the Chachma Bina is pashtim belev. They are based kind of conservation. Okay, introduces another concept here that Chachma Bina affects the lev through the conservation. So that's again, we see again here that we use the anatomy, human anatomy, to describe the concept. So we see in the way the human anatomy operates, the human being that there's the two meichen karvelach, then nimshach in the heart through the two pipes, kona and veshet, which we always call the foot pipe and the ear pipe, and also Sarah Mashkim and Sarah Eifim, which causes Makamacha, like it says in the Terror, the Pashas, what is it, Vayeshev, the end of Vayeshev. Sarah Mashkim and Sarah Eifim. So Sarah Mashkim and Sarah Eifim are the two represent the same kinds of Kona and Veshet. Who but base Chalonim Shebelev. So Chachma Bina in the heart, it affects two parts of the heart, which means, again, we're talking more about the spiritual part, the midas, the two parts of midas. The right chamber of the heart, which contains the Ruach Chaim, the life. In the modern terms, the oxygen, that's, in the way the heart goes, the heart gets oxygen from the lungs, and then that's the way we understand it now, Al Kapanim, that the heart gets the oxygen from the lungs, and it spreads it all over the body to the blood. So the blood, the two parts, there's the part where it takes it from the lung and when it gets to the body. So that part says, okay, the expression below dam klau, I'm not sure. Like I told you last, that's a lashon in Tanya, really, and the Rebbe Zal explains what it means. So that part of the heart, the whole money, that gets that gets its energy from Chachma to Kabbalah. That gets its energy from the Madrig of Moed, from the Chachma, Kabbalah, like we described earlier. So, what is the effect in the state of emotion? So that's a very high level of bittul, a sort of self-nullification. Azaza, remember, as earlier I spoke about tnu. Azaza here, I would say, doesn't mean movement. In the modern terms, zaz means move. But azaza here expresses a certain inner, like trembling. The re'iyah of Chachma, the way it affects the midas, the emotions, creates a bittul, creates a state of self, he loses himself. And he calls it azaza because it moves him away from his own ego. It's a different level. Is a poem by azaza gdela ma'id. The re'iyah, that ability to see, to perceive in a way of re'iyah, mikorev, that creates a very strong trembling. Much more than the effect from seeing, from understanding. So that level of connection that we described earlier in Chachma, that creates in the heart, and the feeling creates a powerful state of bittul.
It's interesting that first it says that Bina Liba, and then next it says that the Liba has two parts. So in other words, it's Chachma and Bina.
Where does it say Bina Liba?
Oh, we just had it on the page Yud Gimel. Bina Liba Shahalim Mevin. Yeah, that's what it also says in the Patach Liyah, in the middle of the Yud Gimel.
Okay, but we're not there yet. Okay, all right, but that's Bina Liba. That is going to talk about Chachma and Bina are interconnected. No, okay, 1 second. We're not there yet. Okay, yeah.
What is the Rebbe explaining about Halal Imoni she'ein boi dam klav?
Yeah. Okay, I'll find that. Okay, that's a good point. I'll find it. Was up to do? 1 second. וכמוי בשמונה עשרה, okay, זה brings the דוגמה בשמונה עשרה, and for Moshe Rabbeinu. But 1 second, you want to find this. Okay, so it's actually printed in the Igros. I think it's what I just said, but that I remember correctly. So it's printed in the Igros Kodesh. That somebody asked the Rebbe what's meant as he said okay. I'm gonna send you the Igros from the Rebbe now. I'm gonna put it on the WhatsApp. So the Rebbe asked somebody asked the Rebbe the question, how can he say in Bedam? We see clearly that there's dam in the all parts of the house. The Rebbe says, "Ein cholei emoni mechadish in Adam. Kibola sham chol asmon sham miskavet maguf. Sheschad v'chelka avdir anois nechayim ba'odam oxygen." Exactly what I said. The oxygen. The ein bedam means that the blood is not nischadesh there. The oxygen is in cholai money. Okay. Obviously, this we can. 1 second. I'll send you. I'll give you. I'll put the Rebbe's letter in our WhatsApp group if you want to look it up. I mean, again, the Rebbe says that the source is in its Chaim. The Alter Rebbe was not Machadish. The Alter Rebbe says in Tani Perik Tes, the source is in its Chaim, but that's how he explains it. All right. Okay. So that I just put the Rebbe's letter. The Rebbe explains this point. Sorry, a few more lines here. Okay, so what he's saying here now, he's going to bring a dogma of this concept of this beetle that's a result of Chachma. So we see it in 2 places. Number 1, Kamay Shmeina Esre. So what does it say? B'Shmeina Esre. Shmeina Esre, it says that when a person davens, look al Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, every Shulchan Aruch Bichlal. When a person davens Shmeina Esre, it says Ka'imid Lifnei HaMelech. That's why we stand. That's why we're in a state of bit. So what happens? Shemid Mikorev. Shemina Esra is the state where Shemid Mikorev connects close. Shemizbatel Batzuse. So that creates a state of bittul, of self-nullification. Not only that, he's in such a state of bittul, he has to say to the Eivishter, Adnes was a tifter. You open my mouth. Why? He has no way, he lacks the ability to speak because he's so bottled. He doesn't feel that he's anything, he can't talk. The 1 million bilshoinai, that's a Lashon Pasuk in ear. But he uses the Lashon Pasuk, he doesn't have words. That's a level of bittul, ein be'etzem, total self-nullification. Very high level of bittul, of humility. That we're supposed to experience it in Shemina Esra. Kamoi, another dogma, Moshe Rabbeinu, shebetachas habitl ba'atzmik tomit. Moshe Rabbeinu was stuck in that state of bittul always. Because Moshe experienced godliness in that level of chokhmah, re'iyah mikorev, sheshchina isa medaberet mit hagoyna, says shechina medaberet mit hagoyna shel Moshe. So obviously, he felt godliness very, very close. And it's a ferish of pasuk, v'diber Hashem el Moshe ponim, kasher yidaber ish al re'eh. That's a pasuk in... So that means that the yachas, it's ponim el ponim, it's a very close connection. This is why Moshe Rabbeinu said, Nachnu ma. That is the level of bittul is the way of ma be'etzem. Like we said earlier, Shem ma. Zeu shekosov leif chacham liyiminoi. So this is also Marumas in the pasuk in Mishle, leif chacham liyiminoi. And over there it says leif ksil lismoiloi, but in our mind it doesn't talk about that. He only concentrates on the first part. The remes, obviously, in the first part of the pasuk, leif chacham liyiminoi. What is the meaning? That the leif of the chacham is liyiminoi, the pchinas hachacham is pchinas. The leif of the chacham, which means the leif, the emotional expression of chacham, the level of chacham liyiminoi. Pchinas hachacham sheikar v'lapnis ein the bittul be'etzem. That level of chacham we described earlier, which is kar v'lach, and the ein bittul be'etzem hu b'chol ha'imoni shebelev. That is channeled into the whole money, like we said earlier. Okay, the words I'm not sure how they fit in this entire process. I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously we can explain Oil Lamaila that is but. So I don't know why he uses words Oil Lamaila. There must be some deeper meaning why it calls it Oil Lamaila.
Is it like from one side of the heart, the pump of the mixes the oxygen and then
Yeah,
goes
but
to the entire body?
higher and lower. It's not higher and lower. It's Oil Lamaila means. And it's a modern type of expression. Oil Lamaila is bitl be'etzem bilti mogish. That the experience, I would just answer the experience, the lev is in a state of be'etzem bilti mogish. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously, like I said, we can explain it, but it's still questionable why he uses these words here. We didn't use the. It's not oil of It is not the language is using it. Okay. All right. So we finished with Chachma, the way it's in Midas, and tomorrow we'll continue the next step, how it's in the world of Bina. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,